The maintenance hallway behind the barracks was silent except for the buzz of a flickering fluorescent bulb. Private Lena Ward stood with her hands behind her back, posture straight, eyes calm. She had been ordered here without explanation, summoned by Commander Riker, the man whose temper was infamous, whose ego was even worse, and who had a long, ugly history of targeting quiet ones. Riker stepped into the narrow corridor, boots thudding with theatrical force. Two corporals trailed behind him, eager to witness whatever humiliation he had planned. His face already carried that usual smug, lopsided grin, like a predator that believed the hunt was already over. "So," he said, leaning close enough that she could smell the alcohol on his breath, "you think staying quiet makes you invisible? Makes you special?" Lena didn't flinch. "No, sir. It makes you weak." He jabbed a finger into her shoulder. "And this base doesn't need weak." The corporals smirked, glancing at each other in anticipation. Riker grabbed her by the elbow and shoved her toward the small restroom at the end of the hall. The kind meant for janitors, with chipped tiles and old metal pipes stained by years of rust. He pushed open the door and pointed at the stained toilet bowl. "Let's see how tough the quiet girl really is," he sneered. "Drink." The corporals laughed under their breath, waiting to see her break, waiting for tears, panic, begging. But Lena simply watched the commander with that same unreadable stillness. "No," he taunted. "You disobeying a direct order. You know what that means, right? 30 seconds. That's how long it took." Lena slowly bent down, not toward the toilet, but toward the floor drain beside it. She pressed her palm flat on the metal grate. The room vibrated faintly, then a rapid clicking sound echoed behind the walls as if someone had activated a hidden system. Riker blinked. "What the hell are you doing?" Lena didn't answer. Instead, she turned one of the old water valves beneath the sink, an industrial one rarely touched by regular personnel. The pipes shuddered, hissing to life. Suddenly, from the toilet behind them, water burst upward in a violent geyser, splashing directly into the commander's face and uniform. Riker choked, sputtering as the cold water drenched him. "Turn it off," he yelled. Turn it off." Lena stood calmly, watching as the pressure continued blasting him against the wall. "Soldier," he shouted, voice cracking. "Please, turn it off. I'm ordering you." There it was, the begging. Only then did Lena gently twist the valve shut. The water pressure died with a final sputter, leaving the commander dripping, furious, and humiliated. She stepped past him, her boots splashing through the puddle on the floor. "Sir," she said evenly, "maintenance training. I'm certified to control every water line in this building, including the one you stood too close to." The corporals stared, mouths wide, as she walked out, calm, dry, and entirely unshaken. Word traveled through the barracks faster than wildfire. By the time Lena reached the mess hall, half the base already knew that Commander Riker, the same man who had made dozens of soldiers cry, quit, or request transfers, had been blasted across a janitor's restroom by his own punishment. Whispers trailed behind her like shadows. "That's her, the quiet one who soaked him. He looked like a drowned rat." Lena ignored every voice. She moved with her usual quiet discipline, tray steady in her hands, posture perfectly straight. Anyone else would have been riding the wave of gossip or proudly grinning. Lena simply existed, as if nothing unusual at all had happened. But something unusual was happening. The corporals who had followed the commander earlier entered the mess hall, walking stiffly as though stepping onto a minefield. One of them caught Lena's eye and immediately looked away, face flushing with embarrassment. They had laughed earlier. They were not laughing now. Commander Riker entered next. His uniform was changed, hair still damp, face red with humiliation. The room froze as if someone had cut the power. Soldiers lowered their eyes. Some bit their lips to keep from smiling, others stared openly, waiting for an explosion of rage. Instead, Riker scanned the room like a hawk searching for prey, and found Lena sitting quietly alone, eating her meal. He marched toward her, boots striking the floor with violent intent. Lena didn't look up. "Private Ward," he said, voice tight, a word. "Now." She lifted her gaze, calm as ever. "Yes, sir." They stepped outside into the courtyard. Riker's jaw clenched hard enough to crack teeth. "You think what you did was clever?" he snapped. "You embarrassed a superior officer in front of the entire base." "With respect, sir," Lena said softly, "you ordered me to commit an act that violates military conduct and sanitation protocols. I neutralized the situation." "Neutralized," he spat. "You humiliated me, and you attempted to degrade a soldier under your command. Her voice didn't rise, but every syllable hit like a precise strike. Riker opened his mouth, but another voice cut him off. Commander Riker. General Hale approached, 2 MPs trailing behind him. His expression was carved from stone. Riker stiffened. General. Sir, I can explain. No need, Hale said calmly. Half the base heard you ordered a soldier to drink toilet water. That's an exaggeration, she's making things up. She turned on the maintenance valve, Lena explained. I knew the pressure would push him back safely without causing injury. And instead caused humiliation. Hale nodded. Frankly, Commander, you're lucky that's all she did. Riker's face went white. Commander Riker, the general continued, you're relieved of duty pending investigation. MPs, escort him. The mess hall windows filled with faces watching the scene unfold. Riker stumbled as the MPs took him by the arms. Before being led away, he glared at Lena with a mixture of fear and disbelief. I told you, she said quietly, meeting his eyes one last time. Quiet doesn't mean weak. Riker was dragged off, humiliated for the second time in one day. And the base finally understood who Private Lena Ward truly was. The quiet soldier no one should have messed with.